Now it's time for a few words on System Center Configuration Manager, or SCCM for short. Some folks call it Config Manager. The minimum version you want to use for Windows 10 deployments is SCCM 2012 R2 SP1 with Cumulative Update 1. I wonder if that product name could be any more complicated. Well, what is SCCM anyway? First off, it's not free like the MDT. This is licensed software. SCCM is an enterprise-class, industrial-strength management tool that uses client agents on PCs and various server roles to perform functions like inventory, operating system deployment, application deployment, update management, antivirus protection, remote control, and a handful of other capabilities that we don't really need to explore here. Suffice it to say, this is a big product. Now, why would anybody use SCCM when the MDT has evolved into a pretty capable deployment management solution? There are actually several reasons. First, SCCM provides that zero-touch installation capability, whereby the OSD process can occur with no user interaction at all. Now, second, you may already be using SCCM in your organization to perform other IT management tasks, such as managing inventory. You may have perhaps already created collections of PCs for use in other aspects of SCCM, and you'd like to leverage that work in deploying your operating system. And using the same administrative console to perform operating system deployments approaches that goal of managing IT through a single pane of glass. SCCM can also leverage MDT task sequences via an integration app that comes with the MDT download. And the SCCM can use reference computer images that were built with the MDT. So if you've already invested some time with the MDT, SCCM won't make you throw that away and start over. Scheduling is a big benefit too. You can tell SCCM when you'd like to begin your OSD deployment, a capability that is not present in the MDT or WADK. Monitoring and reporting are strong points of SCCM and go well beyond the MDT's monitoring capabilities. SCCM can provide detailed reports on, for example, successful versus failed installations. So a bit of terminology will be helpful if you decide to explore SCCM further. OSD means operating system deployment. A package in SCCM usually refers to an older method of deploying applications with System Center Configuration Manager, i.e. the package and program method. An application is a newer method of distributing software programs, along with some ability to customize the deployment based on conditions that are detected at install time, according to predefined rules, such as, for example, whether sufficient disk space exists. A collection is a key SCCM concept. It's a grouping of computers to which you can deploy an operating system or do other things. This is important, for example, if you wanted to do a phased rollout. A distribution point, this is analogous to the MDT deployment share. It's where the PC will get its installation files. Now, the client agent is the software that runs on managed PCs in this SCCM architecture and cooperates with the server-side SCCM software to perform tasks such as installing updates and updating operating systems. A management point is a site server role in SCCM that delivers SCCM policy or instructions to client agents and then in turn receives status information from those clients. SCCM uses task sequences in pretty much the same way that the MDT does. In fact, when you enable the MDT integration, SCCM can actually use MDT task sequences directly. Well, we could chat for hours about deployment technologies and methods in Windows, but it's time to move on. One last thought, however. If you would like to deploy Windows 10 over a LAN, and you'd like to be able to do network booting, for example, with machines that don't already have an operating system on them, or if you'd like to do multicasting to potentially reduce the bandwidth hit of installing lots of client operating systems over a network, then you will need server-side software called WDS for Windows Deployment Services. This comes with Server 2012 and can be leveraged by both SCCM and MDT. Just make sure that your clients are PXE compliant, PXE standing for the pre-boot execution environment. Most clients are these days. Well, that's it for this module. Next up, user state migration.